Hafara everyone, and welcome back to Osahra. Skibith, Hafara.
Hafara everyone, Hafara $2. Glad to be back with you, man, here.
Oh man, it is only a little while longer we can keep on saying Hafara to everybody because we are seriously wrapping up this series in the next few weeks. It's so sad, but it is also very exciting to be working on some projects that we've been having in the back of our minds for quite a while, I guess, since we've been sort of coming up with ideas for our Osahrian episodes. And one of those ideas was the Osahrian, the El Kanem International Airport, which is what I'm building today. And man, it's so hard to build. Like, for anyone who builds airports, who has ever built an airport in City Skylines and trying to keep it really realistic, trying to build an airport in one episode was just far too ambitious to, build it to its fullest potential. So I'm splitting this episode up into 2 episodes. So you're either going to see these episodes back to back over the weekend, or you'll see this episode on the weekend and probably shortly down the track, not too far away, shorter than a week, you'll get the second installment because I just had to split it up. And before we get into too much of what I'm doing, even with splitting this project over 2 episodes, I still could not get the entirety of an airport, a realistic airport in City Skylines. So for this episode, for this whole airport build, I want you just to kind of take away a couple of things that I'm sort of focusing on because I could not focus on the whole thing. So first thing is I want to get this layout, which is pretty much what I do in this episode. And then in the next episode, I'm going to focus on the terminals. 2 terminals, and they're going to be kind of split. They're not going to be like joined. It's going to be quite an interesting project, and I'm going to talk about what I'm going to be doing in the next episode because it's something that is very exciting for me and something that I haven't built yet. But I'm really, really excited to actually get into it. This episode, though, I was just swearing at my screen just constantly because it was just such a nightmare trying to squeeze so much work into such a small episode. I really take my hat off to Flux and Strict Toaster and Biswigglehausen who are, trying to build an entire airport in one series. It's just ridiculous. So it's craziness. So Skib, you were very smart to stay very clear of building the airport for this series.
I know, man. I know. When you told me that you were going to do the airport, I was like, oh my god. But I'm glad you did it because I think we were gonna have so many happy people out there watching this with maybe a cold beer and some popcorn saying, hell yeah, $2 went for it. I think no one would have expected to make the airport, including me. So it's really nice. It's really nice.
Well, you know what? Like, I was stupid enough to say in the last episode, "Hey guys, what should I build in my last ever Osahrian build?" And everyone said, "Yeah, let's build the international airport." And I was praying. I was like, "Guys, like, please just ask for like a small little airport." But no, everyone's going, "Nah, build an international one, and I couldn't let people down. But to be honest, I do love building airports. But I was really conflicted with a couple of things. And like the first thing is the time span. I just didn't think I could achieve an entire airport within 1 or 2 episodes. Hence the reason why I'm only focusing on a couple of real details and this build. And also, we're wrapping up this series. Like, this series will be no longer in a few weeks. Osahra will just be a distant memory. It will just be some lonely playlist on YouTube. But that means that we can't take any more cinematics of this airport. It's just, it's pretty much like 2 episodes and then like we're finished. So I'm kind of sad that we can't, check out planes flying into Osahra and watching the city grow from the airport. And I kind of wish I did it a little bit earlier on in the series, but hey, can't turn back time, I guess.
Yeah, but anyways, it's always good to be later than never, It's good. It's good that we end it up like this. with a grandiose or a big international airport here. So
yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, it's better late than never.
Yeah.
And again, just to like talk about the whole project of this airport. So pretty much, I'm only going to really focus on building this car park in this episode and the layout of this airport. So if you're kind of interested to see the layout of the entire airport, you'll see that in this episode. And then I also want to really hone in on the detail for in the next episode, just purely focusing on the terminals. And for inspiration, I was kind of flying around the Middle East to try and figure out, you know, the layout of this airport and to try and figure out how exactly I wanted to, you know, build it. I didn't want to go for like a massive airport. I wanted the layouts to be quite small and simple, but then at the same time, I wanted it to be an international airport. So had to be some elements of, you know, largeness and, you know, kind of it needed to be big to you know, sort of cater for, you know, huge amounts of passengers coming in and out. So I ended up finding this airport in Algeria. I'm not really sure what town it's in, and it's not exactly the most amazing airport, but the reason why I chose it is because it is still quite small and simple. But I was curious because it did say it was an international airport, but, you know, I was looking at the terminal, it really didn't seem like an international airport. And then I realized that they were still in the process of extending the airports to cater for international flights. And that's this construction site you can see on the left-hand side. So I thought it'd be really cool in the next episode to have a construction site where, you know, the El Kanem International Airport was being still in development. So, you know, we've got this like older style terminal here, which is, you know, the domestic flights. And then this larger scale addition was, you know, in the mix, and you know, the international side of things was kind of still being built. And I think that kind of fits in with Osahra pretty well because, you know, Osahra is still quite developing. It's you know, it's got a bit of a dark history. We've built some very shifty neighborhoods, and you know, being dictators, we're not the greatest politicians ever. So I thought that kind of fit in with the style pretty well. So, you know, in the next episodes, you can look forward to detailing that construction site, and I'm really excited to dive into that. So I'm really hoping I can squeeze that building in the next couple of days. I truly am. But for the time being, I'm just working out this layout, and I've been working on this car park that's pretty, you know, it's just a pretty standard car park, but it's quite large, and I was really disappointed to see very little cars actually using it. Actually, to be honest, not that many people coming into this airport. That was, you know, one of the biggest bummers, I think, building this terminal, not seeing very many people actually use it. And I tried using a couple of different techniques to, you know, increase the people coming in and out, but, you know, just wasn't happening. But you'll be pleased to know that it is functional. Both runways end up being functional, and we do get, you know, quite a lot of flights coming in and out, which is very, very cool. And Skip, I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't know where you've possibly seen those little checkpoints before. Have you seen those checkpoints before?
I might have. I might have. Have you copied them from the borders?
Yeah, man. That's exactly what I did. Yeah.
That's good.
No, man. Cutting corners is what I'm all about.
It's normal. I did that too with some of your little things, builds, or even bushificated areas, if I can say like that. During my videos as well, I've been going and flying above your builds and looking, what can I use here? And then I took some these kind of bushes, trees, and clusters of them, how you made it, and I copied them as well. Or I took some little type of parks or whatever I can call them that you did in office areas and so on. So yeah, it is normal. I mean, sometimes we have to take a shortcut, you know, to finish and do a build.
Yeah, man, I'm 100% on board with shortcuts and cheating and copying. As soon as mods came in where you could actually just copy buildings and builds, I was just like, yep, that's me. Like, that's exactly what I need. It's been the most useful mod ever. Move It is just like the greatest mod in the entire world. So that's exactly what I just did, just copied your work. And they fit in pretty nicely. They're just little checkpoints where you pay for parking and, you know, go in and out. And you've seen me just detail the car park just only slightly because I actually didn't really want too much gardens in this area. I actually wanted the general layout of this airport to be pretty much covered by a lot of foliage. And the reason why, it's because we are sitting on this riverbank. So, you know, we are in a desert, but we are also in quite a tropical and lush area. So there's quite a lot of foliage. And I figured around an airport seems about right, especially around the car parks where they've, you know, upped the prettiness. But it's still quite a rundown looking airport, and I did want to keep that. I wanted there to be quite a lot of dirt coming through the grass, but still have a little bit of a presence of grass and, you know, a lot of shrubbery just around. So, you know, when you look at the cinematics, you just sort of see this airport rise from all these shrubs, and that's kind of cool. And I was really happy with how that turned out. I don't know if I've said it before, but I am really excited to start detailing this terminal. I feel like I really put in the hard yards over the weekend, actually building it all, but I'm really excited just for actually working out how this place looks and taking some sweet cinematics as well, which I think we'll have to add in later videos. But if you are pretty much just joining us for the first time, well, I don't know where the hell you've been, but we are wrapping up this series and we are doing so quite quickly. I mean, I'm working on this episode, and Skib, you have the pleasure of releasing the lucky last episode. We are keeping that top secret, aren't we?
Oh yeah, definitely. And because you mentioned that, I want also to say that you know, in few days we will have the new DLC. Lots of mods will not be going to work and so on. Plus, I have a special thing for my last build, my last episode. It might be postponed with 2 weeks, or instead of one as usual. But it will be there definitely. I need to make some stuff. I need to do some stuff, so it will take some time. Even though I know the airport takes a lot more than what I wanna do, but. I don't want to rush it. Plus, it will be postponed again, also because of the new DLC that will be released. Yeah, because I'm afraid to go online. I will stay offline for a few days until everyone will update their modes on the workshop, and hopefully we will have what it takes to restart these. But I will restart this last episode for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know what you're building in the next episode, and it's ridiculous. I know what next episode is all about, and it's just crazy. And I'm so excited for it, and I hope you guys are too. You know, love to know what you're thinking down below in the comments, so please let us know. And please let us know what you've thought of the series. We've really enjoyed building Osahra and working on this series. It's been about a year now since we first started the whole idea of Osahra, and it's been so much fun. Like we said in the last episode, there's a lot we didn't build, but it's practically impossible, and it's also, you know, I don't even think you'd want to see us building another suburb or, you know, another commercial district. It's always good to, you know, have a bit of a finish with these things, and I think we're both sort of ready to move on, but even still working on this episode, I just sort of, there's so many places where I was just like, oh, maybe I'll just build over here, or maybe I'll just build over there, and I just had to stop. I was like, nah, airport. Like, let's just get this bloody thing done. But yeah, what do you think you're gonna miss the most about Osahra?
Oh man, beside the entire theme that we love doing, that's why, I mean, for me it was something completely different, that's for sure. But beside this, of course, I will miss all these commentaries together. I will miss to load the game and see what you did, to have a nice look there and check it out, because you know it will not be like that anymore. And I will miss the guys. I will miss the guys with the stories. I will miss the guys with their lovely comments and ideas for us to do here. But yeah, it will be missed definitely. For me, it's one of the coolest series I've been working on. and I will for sure missing it.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, I'm gonna miss a lot of the community that's been built around Osahra. I really love the stories. I really love the asset editors, asset creators that jumped on board and helped us out. So much so that we actually could not have done this series without them. So yeah, I mean, Beard Monkey, Armesto, that Evan. Am I missing anybody?
Lost Gecko. Yeah.
Oh, Lost Gecko. Those amazing statues by King Bigfootia. I mean, just incredible. Like, such amazing stuff by you guys. So thank you so much. And just thought I'd just quickly talk about something that I'm trying to do. So you might have noticed on the workshop that some runway roads and some taxiway roads have been added to the workshop, and they looked fantastic. I was really excited to use them, but there was a weird glitch that meant that every time I zoomed out, you could see this white line. The roads pretty much turned to like this white line, and it just made the roads unusable. And apparently that's only a glitch that happens with some users of this, and I just couldn't take that risk. So I was planning on doing a lot of widening of these taxiways and runways and putting in more detail, but I just ran out of time, and I just had to kind of tell myself that this whole build is just not focused on the runways and taxiways and putting down lights. And I mean, if you want to see me do that, I mean, go check out when I build the Springwood Airport. I go through all of that light business and taxiway business and all that sort of stuff. So definitely like pick apart this episode and tell me all the things that I definitely missed out when building this airport. But it's kind of intentional. The only focus I'm doing is on the actual detailing of the terminals and getting out the layouts, which is pretty much what I'm doing in this episode. So huge amounts of holes, huge amounts of inaccuracies, but kind of just like on purpose, like totally on purpose. And you might also notice that I've grabbed a whole bunch of different airlines, and I tried to grab a whole bunch that were Middle Eastern airlines, and because we sort of are basing it on a fictional country within I guess around the Middle East or Northern Africa. And so I got like Iran Air, and I think I got I can't even remember the names of the airlines I got now. Emirates, and a whole bunch of different airlines just to sort of match that theme. And they're such great looking airlines, and I'm so happy that I got to install them, and really looking forward to getting some cinematics in a little bit later down the track to show them taking off and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think they're looking pretty damn nice. And right now I'm just sort of adding in a bit of foliage around these areas, and this is something that I really wanted to, this is a detail that I really wanted to include. And I know that there's a whole bunch of people right now just typing on the keyboards right now saying, $2, what the hell are you doing, man? Like, there is not this much foliage around airports. Yeah, you're 100% right. I went crazy with this sort of foliage. But the sort of look I was going for was I wanted a lot of different texture coming through these runways, and I wanted a lot of I did want a lot of shrubbery around this, but I mean, a lot of these aren't trees. Like, what I'm placing down are tufts of grass, which are quite common around airport runways, and they're not massive obstructions to airlines coming in. So I think they work really nicely, and from some angles they look really, really great. So that was sort of my reasoning for placing down so many of them, and I will be placing a bunch more as well in the next episode as I detail around this area just a touch more, which is very, very cool.
See, sorry to interrupt you. That's the cool thing when you end up a series. You stop caring about the prop limits and so on, and then you go crazier. It happened to me also in my last videos. I said, okay, so we are finishing, okay, doesn't matter. I will go nuts with the props and the trees and everything. It doesn't really matter, neither the FPS. So it's cool, that's the cool part. But I hate you because you didn't try to detail the entire airport, because this would have been my only way to have a look from a closer perspective for an airport. That's why I also stay away from making airports, because I really don't know how they really look like. I've been trying also to look on Google Maps or in pictures and so on, but it's pretty hard to see everything you need to see to make and to have in order to make it realistic and so on. So this would have been my only chance, and you ruined it for me.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm
Yeah, you're
kidding.
gonna have to build your own damn airport. That's
Yeah.
just that's a fact. Yeah, I mean they're great fun, but they're just like the amount of times I had to reload the game just because I hadn't downloaded an asset and I went to go use and I was like, I need to download that asset, load the game back up, start building, go to plop down another airport thing and just be like, uninstall, like go back in. It was just such a pain in the ass. And all these mods and trying to, I spent like 3 hours just trying to get, that's an exaggeration, but I spent a long time trying to get planes to fly out of here and land, and the amount of different mods I had to use to actually get that to happen. It was just fantastic. But I do really love that I've kind of put in this work, because it means that in the next episode I can actually work on detailing, and I love that this airport is, you know, that it functions and that it's a really cool layout, and it's exactly pretty much what I wanted. I just wish I had a little bit extra time and wish that we could kind of check out the airport a little bit extra, a little bit more, rather than you know, wrapping up the series. But you know, I'll just have to take some extra cinematics so that everyone can check it out. But that's pretty much it, guys, for this episode. So thank you so much for tuning in. It's been great. It's been great something. I was gonna say been great having you, but I guess, you know, that's not true. It's just us together. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us in this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to Skipper's channel to check out the very last episode of Osahra, which will be up on his channel in a little while time. And this next episode, part 2 of the airport, will be just around the corner. So stay tuned for that. But until next time, have a great week, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
you.